So that's good.
This is the show. This is the show.
That is, oh, shoot.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter in NBA history, a four-time NBA champion with a pair of MVPs and 9 All-Star Game appearances to his name. But it all had to start somewhere, and you can see his journey from overlooked prospect to NBA legend in the new documentary, Underrated, which is now available on Apple TV+. Steph Curry, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
How are you around spicy food before we get started?
So growing up, I didn't want anything to do with spicy food. And then when me and Aisha got married, she's got the Jamaican heritage, and a lot of that cuisine has to do with some spice. So I learned pretty quickly. So now I'm pretty comfortable with it, but I don't want to talk myself up knowing what's going on here. I'm ready to get started. What we got? Okay. All right. That's
There we go.
That's pretty good, man.
Finger licking.
That was phenomenal.
So Underrated, which is phenomenal, by the way, details your genesis as a 3-star recruit, dismissed by the juggernaut colleges, called too small, and according to one 2009 NBA draft scouting report, will never be a star in the league because of a lack of explosiveness. How do you think things would have been different if you would have ended up at Virginia Tech or Duke? Like, do you think you'd be where you are right now?
It's a great question, because I don't think so, because the brand of basketball that I play now was predicated on a system that Davis and college Bob McKillop mastered. And the only reason I think I'm successful at it is because I got to learn with reps. So having gone to Tech or Duke or whatever, maybe I'll ride the bench my freshman year and I don't get that experience. I don't know if I'd be the same player. So it's kind of a message of go where the best fit is for you. As much as you might want to have the pedigree or the resume to say, I played in the ACC, I played in a power conference. That's all cool. But, myself, Damian Lillard, John Morant, guys who went to mid-major colleges, they'll find you wherever you're at. And so that's kind of I had faith at the time. I didn't know how it would plan out, but I wouldn't change that experience for anything. So I'd rather play than just sit on the bench and say, I got a power conference school on my chest. I already like it. It's probably gonna be my favorite one. Because you know what time it is.
Going in.
Little Thai green curry hot sauce.
Does the name proud?
Oh, absolutely. I like the flavor though.
There we go.
It's really solid. I'm getting too ahead of myself. This is really
it's all right.
solid.
You can be proud of yourself.
I am.
You can be proud of yourself.
I like the flavor too.
Yeah.
Like the spice is one thing, but the flavor is pretty solid.
So I want to congratulate you on an amazing weekend of golf, winning the American Century Championship, an eagle on 18, a hole-in-one earlier in the weekend. What is hitting a hole-in-one like for you? Like, is it like hitting a shot from 75 feet on the court, or is it a uniquely singular sport experience?
Uniquely singular experience, just because when I shoot a 75-footer or whatever, a heave, I've probably made that shot before, if it's in practice or maybe in a game before. And honestly, I expect to make it versus a hole-in-one. Even if you hit a shot and it's right on line, like the odds of it going in are slim to none. So when it goes in, that's when I lost my mind. I started sprinting 150 yards down the hole and celebrate. I basically blacked out. If I act like that when I make a 75-footer, unless it's to win the NBA Finals, then you'll celebrate, but it's kind of like, I meant to do that versus a hole-in-one. It's different. Zesty lemon pepper. I like lemon pepper, though. I'm trying to chew. You freaking chew fast as hell.
Well, that's when you're the host in this whole thing. You have to think about the timing.
I'm trying to keep up with your rate.
No. See, because I try to get it down first because I got a question. You know what I mean? I try to load.
I feel you.
It's a timing game over here too. You know.
You mastered this craft for sure. For sure.
So NBA Jam popularized the concept of being on fire, all right? But there was an influential study in a 1985 edition of Cognitive Psychology that said that hot hand theory or streak shooting is a myth. As the NBA's all-time leading three-point shooter, what's your take on that whole thing? Like, does being on fire feel real to you?
Oh, absolutely. There are times you catch the ball and you maybe made one or two in a row, and this is in practice or a game, whatever the case is. But mostly in the game, like, everything else does not exist. The only thing that exists is as long as I can get this shot off and it's not gonna get blocked, the rim feels like the ocean. And it's one of the most rewarding feelings for us and, myself and other great shooters. Like, that's all you work for is the muscle memory and the mechanics that develops that confidence. So that when you're in the game, like, you're not surprised you're in those moments, but when it happens, it's like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for.
It's like a psychological or physical phenomenon that you can feel. Like this study, they don't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about at all, unless you've been in that 94 feet and like, you've seen Klay Thompson scored whatever, 37 and a quarter, or, 60 and three quarters. When I had 60 in one game, it's literally the tangible physical sensation of all I need to do is just get this ball off my fingertips and it's gonna go in. Because you also know the opposite of that when you can't hit the broadside of a barn and everything feels good, but the results aren't there. So that balance of like where you are on that spectrum is like the ultimate game within the game. I don't like anything that has De Fuego in the title. Oops.
As hot sauces get hotter, the labels turn into like warnings.
Yeah, with no liabilities on it right there. All right, now we're talking.
In your opinion, what is the NBA team staff role that's most important to keeping the machine moving, but doesn't get enough of the credit?
We have a guy named Rick Celebrini. And shout out to Rick, who is, and it's crazy, I know Rick, and we've formed a great relationship, and I don't even know what his title actually is. He's like the go-to on injury management, injury prevention, like all of those things that, allow our bodies and our minds to be sharp for peak performance. We've had a couple run-ins at times because I want to be a lot more aggressive on, like when I tore a labrum in my shoulder or ankle sprains and all that, like I'm thinking about the shortest timeline possible for me to get back on the court.
He's more realistic.
He's more realistic and more player-friendly in terms of being on the conservative side of like, let's take all the variables into play. Let's make sure we're talking about longevity and not just the here and now. That's why you see guys playing, a lot longer. I know there's a load management conversation, and a lot of that falls from the narrative perspective on the players. Like, we don't want to play 82 games. That's not it. It's, there's smart, professional, well-studied individuals that understand how to, prepare athletes to play, not just now, but for, years and years and years and years, and perform at a very high level. And that's why I'm, going into my 15th year, I feel as fresh as I've ever been. So shout out to Rick. Shout out to Rick. Los Calientes Rojo. My lips are burning. I just want to let you know that.
That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Keep me updated. Keep me updated as we go.
Yeah. I don't know if like acknowledging the heat is a good or bad thing. Like, you want to block it out, or you want to just say, I'm here.
I think you bask in it, That's what I think you do.
Oh, yeah. My lips are on fire.
Yeah. Right speaking of uniquely singular experiences, like Hot Ones is like that, While you're here, might as well soak it in.
Absolutely.
So you're a self-described popcorn addict, and in 2019, the New York Times published your power rankings of NBA popcorn throughout the NBA, throughout the entire league, and you rated all on a proprietary 1 to 5 scoring system of freshness, saltiness, crunchiness, butter, and presentation. How would you articulate the difference between your top-rated popcorn, the kind that they serve at Dallas Mavericks games, and then the lowest-rated popcorn that they serve at Clippers and Lakers games?
Basically, you got presentation, like I want it to, it should lock on your eyes. The butter to salt ratio. We're talking about very important. Like I'm a traditional. I don't need none of the bells and whistles. Just make it good, nice and buttery, salty. The crispiness, right? It can't be like too mushy. It has to have like a nice little crispiness to it, a little texture in the mouth. So that was my ranking system. I went through every arena, gave them like a 1 through 5 on each of those, added them up. And it was kind of exactly what I expected in terms of, the arenas that I know where I look forward to playing in those arenas, not just because of the environment, because of the popcorn.
Popcorn's on point.
Absolutely. But I'm not lying. When that came out the next year, everybody dialed the game up. It was impressive. So I want every NBA player to thank me for the popcorn that's going around the league right now.
You deserve it.
Absolutely.
All right. Are you ready to move on? Second half here.
All right.
Kicking things off.
I'm a third quarter player, so this is we got to get through this. Just got to get through this. All right, where we at?
The spicy shark here.
The spicy shark.
Man, kind of sweet up front, and then
it's coming in. I was confused. I thought I grabbed the wrong wing at first, but I did not.
No, you grabbed the right one.
I did not.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Keep going. I'm starting to sweat now.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like you're at the free throw line in the third quarter here as we go on.
Ooh. All right.
Given your unique insight as a child of a 90s pro, I am curious. When you and your dad talk about like his NBA versus your NBA, what are the things that you guys end up talking about?
I mean, the physicality is always the one thing that everybody talks about, like all the hard fouls they had back in the day, which is real, and the league is, adapted appropriately. But just the overall spacing, right? Like when you watch games back in the day in the 90s, at all times, it looked like there was at least 9 people inside the three-point line, usually 5 to 6 people in the paint, and just the different, X's and O's and floor spacing and play calls that they did. He told a story today about a game-winning shot that he had in Madison Square Garden. The way he described the play, he's like somebody double-teamed the post and kicked it out to him on the strong side corner. I'm like, that hasn't happened in like 12 years in the NBA. I don't remember the last time you had a double team to a strong side kick out for a butt naked open, game-winning 3 in Madison Square Garden. So it wasn't just the game-winning shot, it's just like how it happened. And he said it so casually, like, oh yeah, that was a good defensive read. It's like that's not everybody's fanning out to the three-point line, and they'd rather you try to shoot a shot in the paint and for a game winner instead. So game has changed drastically. Obviously, I feel like I've had a lot to do with that, but those are probably the main call-outs he likes to talk about. And the contracts.
Jalapeno Chico here.
I sweated when you said the name. All right, I'm trying to do what you just said. I'm trying to acknowledge what's happening right now. I'm basking it. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. You're not the only one. Come on. I'm competitive as hell. I really want.
And not to lead the witness, but we've never had an NBA player tap out.
No, I'm not. It won't be today. However, you got to wheel me out of here. Come on.
So I've heard you credit Klay Thompson's shooting form as being more pure from a textbook standpoint than yours. Can you explain what you mean by that? Because from sitting on the couch, like they both look pretty good to me.
How would I explain it? I'd say his is more repeatable for the average person. And what I mean by that, it's more kind of uniform from the ground up. So for all the hoop heads, like you get your balance from your feet and your power from the base, and you work your way up from there. Like you can't really get your consistency and repeatability by trying to throw it and sling it with your hands and your arms and your wrists. So he has like the most stacked kind of form. Like everything's in line, all of his angles are right. And like if I was gonna take somebody who's never shot a ball before and put a ball in your hand, I would put you in Klay Thompson's positions. Because like everybody shoots differently. Like all the greatest shooters in the league, we all have different releases and different forms. But Klay's is the one that if you just took a snapshot, it's just right here. It's just extreme. It's pretty. I call it the prettiest jump shot I've ever seen.
And then if you were giving advice on how to shoot, what movements and idiosyncrasies in someone's mechanics, which ones are adaptable with enough practice, and then which ones are fatal if done wrong?
The getting really technical, the angle of your elbow, because it's really hard to, if you have like we call it the chicken wing, or the I don't know what, you rarely see this one, but there have been some that kind of come up through here and then bring it back out. But this is the one you see the most. The chicken wing is deadly just because it's hard to create the same arc with it and the same power. You can get everything from here, but as soon as you get here, you lose it. As long as your elbow is kind of as close to 90 degrees as possible, I'm much more confident in somebody being able to repeat that, because that's the one I hate to see. It's like the deadliest sin in basketball shooting. The chicken wing.
The chicken wing. On topic.
Yes.
This next chicken wing. Speaking of lethal chicken wings.
So this is the one that like,
its reputation
precedes it. This is the popcorn thing, like presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You came and look at, your eye goes right here first. Talk to me. All right, here we go. The bomb.
Beyond insanity.
There we go. Whoa.
Yeah, immediately.
Oh, right. I didn't even get that thing in my, like on my teeth, and it hit me. Oh man, I'm for real sweating now.
Yeah.
Like for real sweating.
All right, and then just be careful around the eyes.
I got it. I ain't doing that. I went backhand on you.
Smart.
Woo! All right.
Do you remember the first time?
So, that's good.
This is the show. This is the show.
That is, oh, shoot. But why is it just sitting on my tongue, like right on the front?
And keeps growing and keeps growing on you. Like the worst is never over.
All right, keep going.
Do you remember the first time that you ever pulled up from 40 feet in a game? Like, how old were you, and do you remember what your coach's reaction was?
Oh, my God. That is insane.
I know. I almost have to
apologize.
apologize.
And you willingly do this every day. Now, yeah, you get paid for it, I know.
Yeah, willingly.
Oh, my God, and you're passionate about your job.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I did it in high school. I know I missed. And thankfully, my dad was on the sideline, so he was an assistant coach, and my head coach couldn't really, like, overstep and like chastise me in the middle of the game, but I definitely got an earful when I got in the car on the way home. You trying to get through this freaking sauce? That is ridiculous.
I get it.
Holy. It doesn't get any better.
No, it only gets worse. It only gets worse. I know. You know, during my middle school era, all right, kids in games would try that like Allen Iverson spin crossover a lot, usually to disastrous results. Do you remember like the player that you would emulate when you were that age? Like so many kids now, it's like you for them. Like who was your model?
The model was Steve Nash and Reggie Miller. You see this tear dropping out of my left eye?
It's very dramatic,
I get real emotional when talking about these two legends that were such great influences on my game. Reggie, because he was a master at creating space without the ball, find a way to get separation, to go out and get a pass and quick release. I never could emulate his form because he'd do like this when he shoot. It was, you never teach that, but the movement out the ball. So I tried to blend those two guys together. But then the funniest, me and my brother, there's a guy, Alonzo Mourning. He had like this really methodical free throw routine that me and my brother would really emulate, and we did it, when we were playing AAU. He'd have his wristband, he'd do like a methodical, like, wipe it off the sweat. Like he'd get locked in, then he'd do another little bounce, and he'd do it again, and then he'd shoot the free throw. So we always, I don't know why, we just love that iconic free throw routine, because it was very big man of him. Like, we were little guards, and it was like kind of out of pocket for us, but yeah, that was a roundabout way of saying Steve Nash and Reggie Miller were my guys. With
a little splash of Alonzo Mourning.
A little splash of the big fella.
How are we doing?
Fantastic. Freaking fantastic. Let's do it. I need a sweatband for
you need the morning routine.
Deep breaths. Oh my goodness, man.
Fourth quarter.
I just want to know, I'm winning a real significant bet in my family right now.
Oh, you are? They didn't think you'd make it
No,
through.
they had no faith in me.
Underrated.
Almost there.
Underrated.
Talk to me.
Underrated.
Come on. Told you I'm competitive. Come on, bring it.
How much did it mean to you that Kobe picked up on your babyface assassin nickname? You know, it seems like he saw the killer instinct in you before a lot of others.
That is one of my favorite memories and like compliments I've ever gotten in my life, because it was like 2 or 3 different kind of interactions there. One I didn't even know about till way after the fact. It was my rookie year and we were playing the Lakers at home and he's on the bench. I think we're getting beat at the time, but I come down the court and I do like this little pump fake situation, hit a leaner off the glass. And as I run down the court, the camera locks in on him for some reason, and he like points to or leans to the guy sitting next to him, one of his teammates, and kind of mouths like, "Yo, he's nice." I'm like, that's the dopest thing in the world. Kobe's validating your game, and he's just seeing you play like for real for the first time, and that's freaking amazing. And the second time we were playing in a preseason game, he's doing that Mamba mentality thing where he's picking me up full court in a preseason game in the first quarter. I'm like, you turn around and he's like this, like standing there and like doing defensive slides, like standing in front of me. I'm like, yo, what is happening right now? This is freaking Kobe Bryant. So he stays with me for like 4 or 5 slides, and then he bumps me and I kind of like fall off balance. So I'm actually gassed at this point. I'm tired. We're trying to get into shape in a preseason game, and he's just going, you know, all out on the defensive pressure, and he's like way bigger, way stronger than me. He's bumping me and doing all that. So after I fall, I got no option. I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot it and live with it. And I shot it from probably 30 feet and I made it. And then I act like nothing happened. So it's like the biggest keep your cool kind of moment in your life, because, you know, it's freaking Kobe and you're trying to be super chill about it. But I just, you know, drained one from 30 on it after he picked me up. And he gave me like the little ass tap on the way back. And I couldn't even acknowledge that either. I kind of just like knocked him off and like act like I was playing on defense. I went right back in at halftime. I was like, I need that clip. Like, bring me that back. I gotta save that on my phone. And then the third time is what you're referring to in terms of him kind of breaking down the killer instinct, and I just hide it behind the smile. Like there's a guys that like he was that had like the scowl and the game face and like that killer mentality. He didn't have to say anything, you could see it. Like he's like the joy that I play with and the smile that I have, you get deceived by just the killer instinct that I had underneath and the competitive spirit that I had. And for somebody to validate you like that, especially he's not giving out compliments like that.
No,
so
no.
That was truly special for sure. I'm doing what you do, brother. Come on. I want to bump it. Oh, whoa! Shoot. All right, whatever. I'm showing out today.
Yeah, for real.
Come on. Salute,
Steph?
brother.
Hey, what a run.
Absolutely. Look at us, right?
Hey,
Look at
who
us.
would have thought?
Who'd have thought? Oh, man.
I know. But it's all over. Wings of death are behind us. And you know, when I was watching the documentary, and reliving all these moments, you know, they're so indelible to us sports fans, but I couldn't help but to think what it must have been like for you to experience them. So with your brain on fire, your mouth ablaze, what I want to do is bounce a few moments from the doc off of you, some career highlights, and you just tell me the first couple of things that come to mind when you think about that night.
Okay.
Turning the ball over 13 times in your college debut against Eastern Michigan.
Oh, I can't wait for everybody to see this, because when I saw the clip, like, you have a memory of how bad it was in your head. Then you imagine 100 times worse when you see it. So I literally look like a baby giraffe out there. Like, I couldn't even stay on my feet. I could not, from me to you right here, I could not throw a pass this way. And the way that it's edited, it's all 13 turnovers literally in a row. And just you see everybody's expression, my teammates like, yo, what the hell is happening right now? Coach McKillop, you can see his wheels are turning, like, we just gave a scholarship to this kid. Like, what are we doing? We're stuck for 4 years.
Coming back down 17 to beat Georgetown in the NCAA tournament.
Unbelievable. The highlight of the run, we won the next game, but that, like, getting out of that first round and going to the second round and beating a team like that, knowing we're already overmatched in terms of the seeding, but we were already down 17 in the second half. Unbelievable comeback, for sure.
Breaking the all-time 3 record with Ray Allen and Reggie Miller in attendance.
To do it in the Garden, to do it with those two guys. I watched when when Ray broke Reggie's record, and Reggie was on the call. So I remember that is kicking in right now. I remember that moment. It was, in Boston, and they waited for a timeout, and he came over and he hugged his mom. He went over and hugged Reggie. So I was kind of just imagining what that would be like with me, and it over-delivered. So definitely a special moment. I got to give the game ball to my dad, who was sitting courtside too.
A proud moment, and you know what? I think you're only going to add to the resume today. Taking on the wings of death, living to tell the tale.
Talk to me.
And now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you, Steph Curry.
Talk to me.
This camera, this camera, this camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Hey, make sure you check out the underrated documentary, Stephen Curry Underrated, coming out Apple TV Plus July 21st, or whenever you can get to your TVs and get these sauces with it. My eyes were freaking watering. These went away before you get to the next wing. Here, it stayed, and then this one is that's a different level.
But true to form, you didn't stop. You didn't slow down your bites. Big dab at the end, as much as you were challenged. You never took your foot off the gas, Steph.
Can't do it.
True to form.
Can't do it.
True to form.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I have a very exciting new product alert. Last year, Hot Ones brought the heat to the freezer aisle with our first ever Hot Ones boneless chicken bites. Well, now we are bringing even more heat to the freezer aisle with our brand new Hot Ones chicken strips made with our first ever seasoned blend. Two boldly seasoned varieties. You have the spicy garlic featuring the classic garlic Fresno with mild heat and garlic blasted goodness, and smoky habanero with the tropical medium spice of our Los Calientes Rojo. We took the sauces that you know and love, and with a little kitchen magic, turned it into the perfect seasoned blend that go great on our new Hot Ones chicken strips. To find Hot Ones chicken strips near you, visit HotOnesChallenge.com. That's HotOnesChallenge.com. Snack them, dip them, make them the perfect party platter.